Welcome to Fountain, Colorado, where we embark upon the 1 mile oval of Pikes Peak International Raceway here, right around the Rocky Mountains in Western America. I'm Logan, and I'm joined by Andrew for the 6th race of the DRL Summer Series season. And as the summer season itself comes to a close, we're still going for just a few more races here in the Summer Series. This is the third to last race before we bring out a 2022 champion. And the points are still plenty close, so we could still have lots of people in contention for this championship. Uh, in the lead of those points, Roger Parker in the 20, who won last time out at Iowa in a very similar track to this one here at Pikes Peak. The difference is the mileage, of course, but both D-shaped ovals, and I think Parker, if he can capitalize, he might be able to come out on top again today. We'll see if that works for him. Second in points, Nathan Ormond in the 13, and then 5 points behind in third is Braden Perez in the 87. He's been strong all season, but still has yet to take home a win. We'll see if he or one of the other 22 drivers in today's field can do to see who comes out on top here in Pikes Peak. So all the cars are ready to go for this Aero Electronics 400. The engines fire, and as you see, Benny Watson in the 17 starts on the pole, and he'll start alongside Logan DeCarlos in the 31. Then in fourth, Jordan Watt in the 40, and Bradley Ream in the number 5. On row number 3, we have Madison Kingsbury and Will Parrish in the 77 and the 1. Starting in the 7th spot, Titan Nicholas in the 21 machine, who won at Indianapolis earlier this season on the July 4th weekend, and Cole Stravick in the 54 in the Craig car, and rounding out the top 10, the 23 of Annie Thomas in the Milwaukee Tools Ford Mustang, and Owen Miles in the 67. Fuel window should be about 21 laps or so today, so one-stop race as the pace car pulls down pit road. We're ready to get going here at the Pikes Peak. The Aero Electronics 400 is green. Benny Watson and Logan DeCarlos take the speed. Yeah, take the green. It's 3 wide for the third spot, or for the 4th spot already. Titan Nicholas, Bradley Ream, Logan DeCarlos going at it, and up at the front, Jordan Watt right on the bumper of Benny Watson as they come off of turn 2 here on lap 2 of 38. Then Titan Nicholas runs third, and it's 3 by 3 back here through the top 15 or so, all the way back to around Roger Parker and Cole Stravick. But Logan DeCarlos is going to get a bit of a power run off that outside. He'll clear Ream, and Roberto Crown Jr. is Colin Cropley and Annie Thomas in front of him. Titan Nicholas drops down to 4th. Kingsbury passed him, and for the lead, Jordan Watt in the 40 to the inside of Benny Watson. Off of turn 2, he's got the edge down the back straightaway, and the new leader already on lap 3.
Looks like he finally got his front bumper underneath the 17 car, so Jordan Watt's going to take the lead this race. He has a sizable gap, and now Madison Kingsbury, oh, caution's out. What has happened here?
Oh, we've got a smoker. It's the 7 of Burt Macklin. And that's going to bring out the first caution of the day here at Pikes Peak International. And Braden Perez got some significant right side damage as well in that 87 car. So an early caution here at Pikes Peak. Looks like Owen Miles in the 67 is coming down the pit road as well. And he's on the access road, so it looks so. As we said, Jordan Watt is in the lead. Benny Watson, Madison Kingsbury, Titan Nicholas, and Colin Cropley's the top 10. They are not coming down the pit road. So, looks like most of the field will stay out except for the ones that have to hit for damage, or they may be out of the race already. We'll have to see when we come back. But first, let's go take a look at what brought out the first caution of the day already on lap number 4. So, coming into turn number 1 here, Burt Macklin and Braden Perez, they just hooked each other, and Macklin got stuck right in the wall, slid across it, and that's where Perez's big damage is from. That brought out the caution. We don't know why Owen Miles came to pit. Perhaps he had a mechanical problem and just happened to have It just happened as the caution came out. But tough luck for Macklin. He's going to be done for the day for sure in that number 7 BMW machine. And Perez has kept going, but he's got some significant damage. We'll see if that affects him at all. We'll take one more look at the accident, and then we'll be back live. Welcome back to Pikes Peak International Raceway here at the Aero Electronics 400. And as you no cars came down the pit lane after that one, so Jordan Watt, Benny Watson, Madison Kingsbury, Titan Nicholas, and Colin Cropley remain the top 5. As we get ready to restart on lap 7 of 38, going into lap number 8, Jordan Watt will take the green flag back, and we're back going here at Pikes Peak. Watson's going to look to his inside immediately and trying to capitalize off that restart. The number 17, pole sitter, going back to the inside, looking for the lead. Kingsbury's right behind him if anything happens. It looks like Watt's got the run off the outside, though. He's going to try and clear into 3. He forces Watson down, and the 40 is still back in front.
Back in the packing scene, a lot less 3-wide action. Looks like we're starting to string out a bit more as Kingsbury looks like she's going to try and send it down the inside. Not quite 3-wide now. Logan DeCarlos on the inside of Annie Thomas and Colin Cropley.
And DeCarlos almost came right off into them off of turn number 2 and caused a big accident. Luckily, they got away with it, and now here comes Stephen Collin in the 45. Thomas and Cropley are still hung up on the outside as well. Collin's going to send it in there. None of them are giving up their spots right now. They all just continuing to stay 3-wide. Cropley's still stuck up in the 3rd lane as it's Roger Parker and Roberto Crown Jr. to his inside now. Back up toward the front, though, Madison Kingsbury making a move on Benny Watson for the 2nd spot, as a 77 still hasn't quite completed that yet. Side by side across the line, Kingsbury had the edge, and she goes into turn 1, trying to get the power down first. 77 and the 17 remain stuck together through the corner, though, and now Titan Nicholas is looking to try and push Kingsbury through so he can get a shot as well, and this is allowing Watt to pull away. Half a second on the 2nd and 3rd place battle that last time by. We'll see what it is when the interval updates again. And Watt pulled away by another about half or quarter of a second or so. It's lap 12 of 38 now. The laps are going by relatively quickly here at Pikes Peak. But Kingsbury is just finally going to figure out to get that 2nd spot.
Jordan Watt's been up front a lot this season, but he hasn't had the luck to actually win a race. I think today might be that day. As the 2nd place and back cars are battling, though, Kingsbury has managed to get in front of this small gaggle of cars. He'll try and pull up to Jordan Watt and try and later in the race, but for now it's Jordan Watt dominating. DeCarlos on the inside of Benny Watson now for the 3rd position. Pretty even through the corner, now back through the field. Let's see a lot more 2-wide action, and just nosing in front at the line there. I think he's going to clear through this corner. Carlos does clear for 3rd place, and every single file now we have a dive to the inside by the 21.
That's Titan Nicholas looking to the inside of Stephen Collin for the 5th spot. He's going to try and keep the power down, and he's got to get to the inside of Collin off the corner here to have a shot. Nicholas is going to go right into turn 1. They're going to be side by side for that 5th position. Annie Thomas is nowhere near them as well, so this is just... it's the only battle in the top 10, really, but now you see Ryan Durrani starting to get to the inside of Salmon Oskin in the 71. This is for the 10th spot. And the Daytona winner has had rough luck since then, but he's going to get back into the top 10 for the first time in quite a while here. As you see Colin Cropley, who was running top 5 earlier, he fell all the way back to 13th in that number 10. And you see Braden Perez running back here. Hasn't lost the pack after that damage in the accident. He's 22nd, though, and last running. So Owen Miles and Burt Macklin have retired from the race for separate reasons. Macklin from the accident, Miles from a mechanical failure of some kind. We'll see what that is, either at the caution or at the end of the race. But right now, Jordan Watt sure doesn't want a caution. He's got a 2/3 of a second advantage over Logan DeCarlos and Madison Kingsbury, who are battling through second once again.
So pit stop will be starting sometime soon. So there will be one stop through this race as we see DeCarlos just about to make a move on Kingsbury. Carlos is trucking this race, putting up a lot of speed compared to everybody else around him. But anyway, pit stops. There will be one stop this race about halfway through, so I'm expecting it around the halfway point. So lap 20, we'll have to see if anyone dives down or anything comes sooner. Back in the pack is DeCarlos now clears, not quite, Kingsbury for second place, but he does take position, and now he will clear back in the pack. What's going on? Single file most way. Here we have a move, and also have Will make a move.
Yeah, but otherwise it's pretty content right now as they're coming up to the pit stops in just about 2 or 3 laps here. I'm sure the caution allowed them to save a little bit of fuel to hold that off a little later. But single file through the top 10 now. You see Ryan Durrani trying to make a move for 9th. He couldn't quite get it into turn number 3. But up front, Jordan Watt has just taken the lead away from everyone. He's starting to check out a second and a little more ahead of Logan DeCarlos, who's trying to chase him down and get his second win of the season after he won at Hillside earlier this year. And Kingsbury, Benny Watson tried to make a pass on her, it didn't work, and now here comes Colin to the inside of the pole sitter in that 45 Haas machine. He's going to go side by side with Watson. It's going to be a drag race at the line. Watson will have the edge at the finish line, but Colin's going to try and make the pass off of turn number 2, which has been the better spot to make a pass so far today. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out for the 45. Watson's going to get the run on the outside as the tires start to wear a little bit. And now here comes some of the field for pit road. 3 wide for the 7th spot between Crown Jr., Fitzwater, and Thomas. Some of the guys in the back coming down. Roger Parker, the last winner, Kate Onyx as well, and a couple more. On lap 22 of 38, Watt stays out once again as he comes off of turn number 2.
Watt will come into the pits now. Down the access road, will DeCarlos follow him? I believe so. Benny Watson is our first car staying out, and a few more behind him. We'll have to see how many tires they put on. I'm assuming 4. About halfway through this race right now. About 22 of 38 will follow Jordan Watt into his stall.
Watt gonna go all the way to the front of the pit lane, near where he started in that 40 car. See in the pit what he puts on pit lane. Right sides go up. DeCarlos pitting right in front of him as well, so we can keep an eye on both of them. They were running first and second when they came down. Drops the jack on the right side of the car, and Watt goes away with 2 tires. DeCarlos with a little bit of a slower stop. He's going to drop quite a few spots to around where 10th was in Ryan Durrani. But Watt, good pit stop from him so far, it looks. Oh, we had some contact off pit road here. Zachary Fitzwater and Roberto Crown Jr. And Crown's got big damage. He wasn't quite in his pits box all the way. You see he resets there. But that's going to be a much longer pit stop for both of them, if I'm not mistaken. Benny Watson down. He's going to take right sides only, but Watt is way ahead of him in that 40. You can see him in that shot just briefly as the rest of the field comes off pit road. Annie Thomas is the only one to stay out for another lap there, I believe. And she is down the pit road now in 23. But it looks like it will be Jordan Watt by a very, very large margin in the lead of this race once we get back going here, because Watson's the next guy behind him battling with Kingsbury, and it's going to be a bigger gap than it was before, closer to 2 seconds than 1.
Makes me kind of wonder with that slow pit stop from DeCarlos if he may have gotten damage earlier, but he didn't pick it up on cameras, so I don't know what happened there. It was very slow, and I think that might have just lost him the race if he even had a chance in the first place, because Watt is dominated 2 seconds out in front of the 77 of Madison Kingsbury. And that's where the real action is, as it looks like Benny Watson was right back inside there, but timing, let's get back at that.
Yes, and they both got passed by Stephen Collin. Now Titan Nicholas 3 wide, and Watts is going to drop back to the 4th spot now. Kingsbury is right behind him in 5th, and you see Roberto Crown Jr. still sitting on the pit road from that accident with Fitzwater. He's going to be out of contention for this one. He's laps down now. Braden Perez is also a lap down to 87, but as you see, Jordan Watt has not lost any spots on pit road. He's ahead by 2 seconds over Stephen Collin, who now comes up to the 2nd spot unexpectedly after Kingsbury and Watson were slowing each other down so much. And the caution is not out. Thought I saw the lights for a second. Watt, however, is being closed in. He's lost 2/10 on that last lap, with coming to 10 to go this time. I still don't know if that's enough to have him caught, but we'll have to see if that affects how Colin's gonna run him down here. I don't know if there's a chance though, because Watt just took 10 to go in the Aero Electronics 400.
I'm with Logan. I swear I saw the flag man throw the yellow flag, but I guess not. Collin is slowly closing that gap to Watt, but it might not be enough because it's very slow. And Watt only has 9 laps to go at the line, and he's just all by himself. Back toward 3rd place, we have the 21 of Titan Nicholas. He's under a bit of pressure from Benny Watson, but still manageable as this group is single file. 2 moves being made, except 13 tried making a dive. 2 wide with Will Parrish, and I couldn't tell what car that was. Never moved too fast. Back up front, Jordan Watt now taking, I believe that's 8 laps to go here at Pikes Peak.
And now Watt's got a buffer between him and Collin and Roberto Crown Jr., who just came off the pit road. Crown is 5 laps down in the 22nd spot. And now Collins, if he's got to have any shot at this race win, he's got to get around Crown as well as Watt. But it's just not going down fast enough for the 45 here. He's got, you know, and as Andrew said, a line of cars behind him as well. They're not really posing any threat. Madison Kingsbury's dropping back quite a bit now. She's under pressure from Ryan Durrani and Kate Honest in the 16 and the 42. And Kingsbury is notably off the pace compared to Watson and the guys in front of her. Here comes Durrani looking to the inside. He's going to force her up the track. A little bump into turn number 3. Durrani forces himself underneath on the inside lane. He's going to complete that pass in one foul swoop at 16. Coming into the top 5 for definitely his best run since that Daytona opener, which he dominated and won. You see Stephen Collin being held up just a little bit here by Roberto Crown Jr. They close in another quarter second as they come to 5 laps to go this time. Jordan Watt's got to see Crown coming in his mirror just a little bit bigger each lap, but I have a feeling he's not too worried right now. He's just got 5 miles to go in the Aero Electronics 400 for Jordan Watt.
Also remember that Collin is keeping pace with the 19, who is on fresher tires, so he is gaining, but he will have to get around both cars in order to win this race. The gap is down to 1.1 seconds now as we're rounding turn 4 to head to 4 laps to go here at Pikes Peak. Still looks like Watt will win this one, but it's getting closer every lap now, under a second here at Pikes Peak.
And Crown's got to be only about a half second behind Watt with the gaps that they have, as Collin's just fallen a little bit off of the 19. And the battle back here for the 8th position. Kingsbury and Roger Parker, the last winner, going at it. You saw I think I saw Orman go around Kingsbury on the backstretch shot as well earlier when we were talking about Watt. Here comes Annie Thomas now, taking advantage of Parker being held up. She goes to the inside for 9th. And the 23 is going to look to get by the 20 here. However, Kingsbury's a little slower right in front of her, so they'll be side by side off the corner once again. But Parker had a little bit too wide off the corner. He got a lift to get out of the wall. Here comes DeCarlos to his inside as Thomas takes away the 9th spot. And now Roberto Crown Jr.'s gotten right to the back of Jordan Watt. Is going to try and pass him. and the lead is 6/10 to second place Colin now. And with Crown going by, he's going to try and lose a lot of time, but Crown can't get past Watt. Coming to a white flag this time.
Into turn 3 on the second to last lap. Colin is closing. Crown Jr. is trying to unlap himself. And that will definitely lose Watt some time, taking the white flag 1 lap to go here at Pikes Peak. Crown Jr. is not able to make that pass, and Stephen Colin isn't close enough to capitalize if a pass was made onto the backstretch for the final time. Jordan Watt will block Crown successfully into the last corner and into the trial. Jordan Watt is a DRL Summer Series winner here at Pikes Peak.
And Jordan Watt gets it done after a valiant run in the final laps by Stephen Collin in that 45. Crown just had to get past him into turn 1. That's where you need to pass a guy, where you need to start a pass here at Pikes Peak. But he couldn't quite get under Watt and play into Collin's hands, so that's going to end the race. Checkered flag waved, and Jordan Watt got under it half a second before Stephen Collin. And the rest of the top 10 we'll take a look at here. Titan Nicholas came home 3rd in the 21. Benny Watson in the 17 finished 4th from the pole. Ryan Durrani 5th, was, as we said, his best run since Daytona. Nathan Ormond came home 6th, and it may take the points lead back. He was 2 points behind Roger Parker coming in. But as you see, Parker finished 9th behind Kate Onyx, Annie Thomas. So I believe it'll be a 1-point difference between Ormond and Parker if Watt doesn't crash the party here, because I know Watt was top 5, top 10 in points as well. And rounding out the top 10, Hillside winner Logan DeCarlos. Madison Kingsbury fell back to 11th in those final few laps. We saw Owen Miles retire during that first caution, the first and only caution of the day. He had a piston go awry in that car, and we know Burt Macklin finishing last due to an accident. That brought out the only caution of the day, and he was the only one to retire from it. Crown Jr. finished 5 laps down. Braden Perez had to repair some damage on the pit stop. He finished a lap down at 21st and is going to fall quite a few points behind Ormond and Parker, who finished top 10. But a great day for Jordan Watt, and I believe this is going to also accelerate him into the points lead conversation as well. We'll have to see when we get to the points, but right after this. But first off, congratulations to Jordan Watt. I'm Logan, and on behalf of Andrew, thank you for watching the DRL Summer Series here at Pikes Peak, and we will see you next time. Have a great one.